Hello everybody, we're working through our Clawhammer Ukulele 2nd edition book. It's time for the second lesson. We've been working just on the basic stroke, but now it's time to use it to play some melodies. So the three melodies we're going to work on today are Hot Cross Buns, Boil the Cabbage Down, and Mary Had a Little Lamb. As a reminder, to play Clawhammer Ukulele, we've got our hand bent over in this position. This finger nail is playing a melody note and doing a brush, and then our thumb plays the 4th string. And the motion is towards the ukulele. If you missed the first lesson, definitely go back. You got some basics to get down. So that's our basic rhythm. Tock, ticka, tock, ticka, tock, ticka, tock, ticka. The tock is just a melody note. The tick is brushing 2 or 3 strings, and then the thumb is the thumb on the 4th string. So the first melody there is Hot Cross Buns. You can see on the tablature that if it's a number written out, that's the melody note. If it's got an arrow, that's the brush. And the 0 on the 4th string is your thumb note. So it starts on the 7th fret. Do it again. And notice, as we discussed last time, every time I do the basic stroke to get a melody note or a brush, look where my thumb lands. It just lands right on the 4th string, and it's ready to play that 4th string if needed. So even on the second line where I was going, my thumb is still living in the area of where it needs to play. If I go from the side here, not this, or I want to keep my thumb over here. So now let's go on to Boil the Cabbage Down. You see that for this tablature you have to play on the melody on more than one string. So far we have just been playing the melody mainly on the 1st string, but you got to get down and play on the other strings too. So here I go. In the second version of Boil the Cabbage Down, it's the same exact tune, it's the same rhythm, but the challenge is now, instead of just fingering the melody note, you're going to also try to finger the chord that goes along with it. So you can see that the first measure, it's a C chord. So you play your C chord with your left hand, and the melody note is just the 2nd string open twice, which that's in a C chord, so you're all set. Second measure, it switches to an F chord, and the melody note is that finger right there, so you don't have to do anything except make the chord. That goes for the whole piece. So it's the same melody, but now we're just adding the chords to it. I'll do it again slow. So it makes the tune sound different to do the extra work of adding the chords to it. We don't always do that, but on that one I like to. A tip for you, if you're having trouble getting the melody note on the 2nd or 3rd strings, what you really have to do is, after you play the melody note on like the 2nd string, your finger rests itself on the 1st string. It stops there. So that's like digging in, instead of this. Or like if we're going to do the 3rd string, that means you're going to rest on the 2nd string after you play it. That allows me to do the same stroke I would do on the 1st string. So it's the same stroke. I don't want this. You really want to dig in. and then you come to rest there. So let's quick turn the page. Let's look at Mary Had a Little Lamb. The challenge for this one is that it's in the key of F. So, you know, there's times we're going to ask you to play melody notes that aren't normally in the key of F, but you're just going to have to try to keep the F chord down and add them or subtract them. It's a little challenging, but I like how it sounds. So here I go. So did you notice that there were moments where I asked you to play a melody note with a chord that you usually don't use in that chord. So like in the second line, that there's a C chord going, so you have to finger the C chord, and the melody note is this note right here. You don't normally play that note in a C chord, but it's what you have to do to make the tune come out. So you just go for it. Let's try it again. I'm going to go a little slower. So, yeah, if you have any questions, just send me an email, and I hope you're having fun with this. We've got lots more lessons to go. Thanks.